Hi, I'm Andy. Welcome to Screenfire. As you can see, we're not in our usual studio setting because we are reconstructing and it's going to be awesome. But what's also awesome is the new Batman movie, The Batman. And Tony and I, we just watched it a few hours ago. And yeah, Tony, what do you think about Robert Pattinson as Batman?
You already said it. It's
Yeah, I already.
awesome.
Yeah.
I liked it very much. It has a few things that are so different from what we got the last years or decades of Batman movies. There's some things they're a little off, but overall, I'm very pleased.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. But yeah, the first part, as always, is spoiler free. And when we get to the spoiler part, we let you know. So, should we talk a little bit about the story first? What's all about? The Riddler is killing people. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's basically in the trailer. The Riddler is the main villain, and Batman is a very struggled person who's trying to save Gotham.
yeah, that would be one of the negative things I have to say because that's pretty much his only character trait. He's very, yeah, negative and Batman. Here, Bruce Wayne and Batman are pretty much the same character in this movie.
It is, that's right. I never thought about that point. But now you say it, yeah, that's true. There's not much of a difference, and that that's that's some I see some of my negative points, just one, in a complete different light now.
Oh, yeah,
It just I don't want to start with the negatives, but now that you said it, my problem, I like Robert Pattinson as Batman with the mask. I like the acting, I like the dark tone and the silence. He doesn't talk a lot, and that's fine. This type of Batman is very fine with me. But I didn't like Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne that much.
yeah,
I thought it's Robert Pattinson's young face, but it isn't. It's what you just said. It's my problem is that it's almost the same person because he has the same silent, I don't talk my thoughts out, even though to Alfred or something type of attitude. He has as Batman. There's no difference. And that's my problem. It's not Robert Pattinson.
yeah. But it's not, as you said, it's not Robert Pattinson's fault because it's the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
The acting is great.
Yeah, acting is great.
S-
Yep,
I'm
but
a
we should
fan.
start.
Yeah.
We should start
I'm
with some
sorry.
positive.
Yeah.
No, it was my fault. It was my
Yeah.
fault because I mentioned it. So, yeah. Do you want to start, or should I? Or-
The first the first pretty obvious positive for me is that it's not the classic Nolan Batman action movie. They don't try to reach that goal to to reach that legacy of Batman. Batman now is a legacy character with a lot of different take-ons in the cinematic universe, you know? And this type is the classic detective noir crime movie, and it's not every Batman is that dark when it's focused on the detective part, but it works out so well for me. As
Yeah, I totally agree. It reminded me of the Arkham games when you're going around and playing detective and solving puzzles, crimes, and yeah, it really was more like a true comic movie than compared to the Nolan movies or the Burton
yeah,
movies.
the
Or
comic thing is another positive and negative point, but we talk about it later, I guess. But yeah, it had a really dark and gritty noir vibe, like not typically like Batman, and even not like the Arkham games, because there's always that kind of funny superhero twist on the Batman character or the side characters around him. And this film has not a single joke. It's so dark. I can't remember.
let,
There's no,
let me think about it. But
not even a
yeah,
funny side note someone doesn't make. I mean, there are a lot of Easter eggs, but not in that funny kind of way. you would expect from a comic movie.
There isn't now, and now you're saying it. Well, that's true. That's true. There's one joke in it, not one liner or so. That's damn. Yeah, that's you're right. Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
like how we
true.
how we just watched the movie together and had totally different take ons. It's great. But I liked it. It's not that I missed it. It fits.
No, no,
It's
it
so
fits.
depressing and heavy and dark, and but in a good melancholic way. You know, you get out of this movie and you feel like heavy
Yeah,
hearted, but not in a I'm sad way. Just it's
in a
just
good.
weird in a good weird way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pretty dark, but I never felt like it's depressing dark,
Yeah,
just as you said. There are some depressing dark movies, I don't know, as Schindler's List. Not that kind of dark. But no, it's more like the old detective, as you said, the noir kind of movies. And yeah, I
for
really enjoyed it.
the standard moviegoer, like a bit like Sin City, but without
Yeah.
the fun.
Okay.
No,
That's,
the fun the characters have in Sin
yeah,
City. Not
yeah,
not we had fun, but the fun the characters, some enjoy like killing in Sin City, and that's not the thing in this movie.
true.
That's what I wanted to say. So
And
yeah,
sorry, yeah, no, you first.
I think a lot of I'm sorry. Um, a lot of this vibe comes with the score and the Batman theme song, and that's my biggest plus. I love the score.
Score
I
was amazing.
Yeah, there are not much pop culture needle drops. I think at the beginning there are some, and is there a Nirvana song? I guess I'm not sure about it. There are
One
some
or
needle
two.
drops. Yeah, some just pop songs and rock songs, and then the most of the scores just strings, violins, cellos, and everything is played really low tone. The new Batman theme, you can call it, I guess, reminded me a lot of a really gritty, really slow, really dark version of the Imperial March. Not like with the orchestra and the trumpets, just the burial of I'm not sure. It's not I cannot pinpoint a scene in Star Wars, like, but the feeling you get when Anakin slaughters the young Padawans, and then a really nitty, dark, violent cello, low tone piano version of Imperial March would be playing. That's the feeling you get with the Batman theme. But he's not the bad guy, and that makes it so amazing for me.
Yeah, but he's threatening. Oh my god. The first time he appears, there are some street thugs who try to beat up an old man, and he just appears slowly out of pure darkness with heavy boot steps. And it's really dark and threatening. Really like the tone they used
They
here.
play with the fear of the low-key street mobs he's fighting. You
Yeah,
see it
yeah,
in their faces, and it's every scene in the beginning is built up with shadows, and you expect him to be there, and you're frightened.
yeah, yeah. It really works well. Really. And you know what also works well?
What?
The CGI.
Oh yeah.
I hate CGI most of the time. CGI annoys me just because you can tell it's CGI. And I couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell. It was
Me neither.
seamless. You couldn't tell where the real shots began and where CGI took over. It was
Yeah.
seamless. That's where I say CGI is justified. CGI is great. CGI is awesome. I don't want to see it. Yeah.
I have nothing to say about it except, yeah, what you said is right. I haven't seen one scene where I thought, yeah, that green screen. Nah. No, it wasn't. It felt real the
I
whole time.
I was
Explosions,
really,
shots,
I
the
was really looking at the end. There's a scene where you can see a lot of water, and I really tried to spot some CGI, but I couldn't. And I guess some comes from that it was really dark, and CGI works the best when it's dark.
yeah, that
And
yeah,
yeah, that's really a plus for it. But they did some great work on it. Yeah,
they did.
yeah. So do you have another plus?
Yeah, we
I
talked
totally
about
agree with the detective part, and of course the dark atmosphere, because that are and the soundtrack as well,
yeah.
because those are also plus points I have on
Oh,
my list. So
the soundtrack besides the Batman theme, there's Ave Maria is just the theme for the whole movie.
true.
Yeah, that should be noted as a side note, but when I said there are no needle drops, not much. Ave Maria is almost in every scene, but it's down to earth with the detective vibe and the gadgets. That's
Yeah,
another plus. It's not like you have all these over the top gas grenade stuff things, spatterings that automatically come back. You don't have it. You have gadgets. You have like a cool camera contact lens which records everything Batman sees, and you have other cool gadgets, but they're not over the top. They somehow feel realistic. I mean, yeah, there's stuff that won't work that way if you if you try it out, but it feels so down to earth that you believe it.
yeah.
For me, at least.
It was the first Batman where I could believe that he is in danger or might even die. Or of course, he won't die because he's Batman, but you could feel that he's not a superhuman or has super strength. He's just a guy who fights very well and has some gadgets, but that's it.
And a
But
pretty thick Kevlar suit.
yeah, yeah,
He looks thick, like bulky in the suit. And Robert Pattinson without the suit doesn't, but the suit feels like armor. And it acts like that. And I liked it.
yeah. It was believable.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any more positives, or should we?
Oh, I have one, a big
Oh, you
one.
have okay,
But
okay,
no, let's talk about this in the spoiler section. I say it's the Batmobile. I like the design. And why? Let's talk about this in the spoiler section.
okay.
Yeah. I just have no one question for you.
Sure.
The movie didn't get an R rating, and it was discussed before that a lot of people were concerned this is going to suck. But did you like the violence?
Yeah,
Because
it was enough. It was fine. I never questioned it. I didn't know that it's PG-13, right?
I'm not sure what's the final outcome. I know that this was discussed before the movie came out.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
not
it's
sure. It should
PG-13,
be.
but you don't feel it. I never felt it during the movie or
Yeah.
thought about it. So no, it's violence is okay for a Batman movie.
Yeah, because I think it's because it's so down to earth, and you feel the punches, and they hurt in a realistic way because it's pain you can imagine, not like getting blown up. That's so over the top. That's like it doesn't hurt me when I see it. It's just ah okay, but not ah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm not sure, but could you hear bones cracking? I'm not
I'm
even
not sure.
sure.
No, I don't think so. But you had hard punch impacts even in
Yeah.
faces, but not the scattering bone sound. No, I don't think so.
Mm, the good bones. I love shattering bones. Okay. Yeah. No. No. It was pretty dark. Great soundtrack. A good detective movie and awesome CGI. That's
The
what I.
characters, did you like the characters?
Uh, I didn't like the connection between the characters. I thought the connection between Alfred and Bruce was pretty weak for a Batman movie, but they try to establish that it's growing. I know, and probably it's an awesome build up for the next movie. But in this one, it was pretty weak.
Yeah, there wasn't much Alfred on screen. I think that's
So
one of the problems. But did
that's Andy
you?
Serkis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
he did a
was
great job. Every
yeah.
actor did a great job. I didn't know Penguin is Colin Farrell.
You're kidding me, right?
You didn't know either? No,
No.
I've seen the posters and stuff. And then, yeah, that's a great Penguin design. For me,
Yeah.
is Penguin my favorite Batman villain, and it all stands with the design or falls, and I loved it. And now I googled the actor is Colin Farrell, and I was like, that mask is
Okay,
amazing.
that's
Yeah,
for the special effects, for the makeup
yeah,
effects. That's Oscar worthy. That's really, really great. Yeah.
yeah. So now, do you have negative points?
Oh boy. No, it's just a few. Um, I thought Riddler was one of the most boring villains from all Batman movies. In the beginning, it was great because you have this Seven, the movie Seven, like
Yeah,
feeling, and um, it was great in the beginning. But the more screen time he had, the more boring he became.
I'm
So
totally with you.
yeah,
I thought it was a bold choice to take Riddler as the main villain when I saw the trailers, because Riddler is always the sidekick. You have the Joker or Two Face or something, and Riddler is there, but he's not the super villain in
yeah,
most of the Batman movies or series or stuff. So it was a bold choice, and they started off really great. The riddles were great, and the impact that the Riddler had on Gotham was much, much larger than the impact he usually has with his little tricks. So, yeah, it started off great, and the more screen time he got, the more, hmm, just that usual Gotham crazy guy
yeah, yeah.
feeling came up, and I
Nothing
didn't like that
special.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's one negative point. And as mentioned before, Batman was very one-dimensional. I said it's not Patterson's fault. It's just he was just Batman, not Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I mean, he has the deeper. I think it has to do with that they ditched the backstory. I mean, everyone knows the Batman backstory. His parents died, blah blah blah. He never get over it, blah blah blah. Yeah, they ditched it completely.
Yeah,
But
I
then,
don't want to see another origin
yeah,
story, so
no.
that's fine.
But they reference it all the time with things that happen in the movie, and then you have Batman or Bruce Wayne staring at the scene, and they don't do the flashbacks, but you see it in his face. That's the great acting, and I think that's the dimension they want to give the character, but it didn't work out quite as well for me too.
Yeah, yeah, that would be 2 points. And I have a last one that would be a negative. It's a really long movie.
Yeah, that's my greatest negative.
It's 3 hours long, and 2.5 hours would be more than enough.
Two for me,
Good.
two. They could have done it in 2 hours.
Yeah,
The main problem is, you said at the beginning, it feels more like a comic. And that's great in a way, but it's also not that great in a way, because the whole plot roundup doesn't feel round at all. Because it has all these different sections that don't always come together as well as you would imagine for a movie. It's more like, yeah, they take the time and have a comic series like 4 or 5 comics, and you have all the subplots, and they're fine and they work out, and you forget about it in the next comic book. But it doesn't work out quite as well in a 3 hour movie.
yeah, it's a good example for what works in different types of
Yeah,
media, in comics, in movies, or in video games. It's just different for
yeah.
each medium. Yeah,
And I don't mean that the movie works slow. The movie is slow. Every scene is slow, and every scene takes its time, and it is
It's
fine.
good. It's
But
fine.
you should have reduced some scenes, just not the scene in general, but the amount of scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my positives and negatives. I don't know if you have anything more
Just for the
negative.
spoiler section.
Okay, so you've been warned. Now it's time for the spoilers. Tony,
So
what is your negative and positive spoiler?
So let's start with the positive spoiler I talked about before, the Batmobile. I love the design of the Batmobile. It's
Yes.
so much like it's a muscle car. I'm not sure. I'm not that much into cars. I can pinpoint if it's some kind of car that really exists, but
I don't know.
it's a beautiful muscle car, and it's not that Tumbler Nolan military vehicle we have in the last Batman movies. I like that, but it has this nod to the 60s series with the red lights. It kind of has these Knight Rider kid vibes, and I was the biggest Knight Rider fan as a kid, so that's a huge compliment from me. With the red lights and the motor in the back, the open motor in the back, it was such a great design. And the scene where it comes, I'm sorry, I'm just nerding, but
No.
you, I was at a point mid movie where I thought, yeah, they don't need it. They're so down to earth. They don't need a super cool Batmobile. I'm fine when it doesn't come up. And then there was this scene. You haven't seen the car in total Batman drives. It could be just any car. And then there was night, like the whole movie was almost night. And there was foggy, cloudy, rainy weather. And there was the bad guys, and they thought they win, and then in the side street the car lights up, the motor house, and you see its Cobblepot's face freezes, like, what is happening? The car, that's the fear they play with in the shadows with Batman. They did it with the car, and then
Yes.
it drives out, and this was like, wow, I didn't expect it, and this was great.
That's what I was going to say. It's not only the nods to the older cars, and that's a great car. It's threatening as Batman himself.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really. And you can feel the impact just as with Batman himself. It's perfectly fitting. I really didn't like the Nolan car. Was never a fan of it. I know I'm alone with that, but
That's okay.
I think it just looks. I know it's supposed to be a tank, and it looks like a tank, but not the cool kind of tank. So I never was a fan of
That's
it.
fine. I liked it, but I
But
didn't like
the
it as
new
much.
one, I'm totally with you. It's just cool. Yeah, yeah. Forgot what I was going to say.
Do you have another spoiler positive?
Yeah, I'm thinking I had. Yeah, it's not a huge spoiler, but it's raining throughout the whole movie a lot, and I really liked it that it's raining. I don't know, it was just
That's another
great
noir
feeling.
movie trope we have.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Mm, it's. I'm not sure if it's a positive or negative for me, but you talked about the relationship between Alfred and Bruce,
Oh yeah,
and what I had just like I studied about it like a bit was Alfred and Bruce are on a first name base, so he didn't call him Master Wayne like
true.
almost every time. He used his first name, Bruce, when he talked to him. That was, I think, a thing that should show they are more like family, not like
Yeah, but you
butler.
couldn't feel it. That's my problem. And there's a scene where Riddler sends a package to Bruce, and it's C4s in it, so explosives. And Alfred gets hurt, and I didn't care
My
really.
first
Because
thought
yeah,
was when the scene played out, it's like, oh no, they can't kill Alfred, and it wasn't because Alfred has such a great role in this movie, because he hasn't. It's just because the Alfred legacy. It's like, they
True.
can't
It's
do this. Nobody has ever done this.
yeah, absolutely true. It's
Yeah,
because if you think about Alfred, you think about the whole universe. Alfred, what
yeah,
emotions you have to this character, and
that's the
not
point.
what's in the movie. And really, it was such a weak relationship. And I know they try to build up for the next movie, but if I think about it, at this point, how old is Batman? 30 in his 30s, so
That
they know each
depends on
other
which
for
Batman, which comic Batman, which. I'm not sure how old this Batman is. I thought about it while watching, because how old is Robert Pattinson? He looks way younger than he is, I guess.
yeah. But
And
he
yeah,
should be in his 30s, early 30s, I guess. And so they know each other for his whole life. And for that, the relationship is also kind of weak
yeah,
because there's really nothing. Nothing. They argue a little bit. Alfred is helping him, and that's about it.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the. I guess I don't have as many positive spoiler parts, more on the negative side, but it's also not as many negatives. It's just a few.
So
So, do you have
what?
any more positives?
Not really. We talked about the most positives in the spoiler-free part. So I'm not sure if I'm positive or negative with it. So when we switch to the next side, I can talk about this in between. There are some Easter eggs to other Batman villains or tropes, from other media. Like, they tease a little bit Hush, for example, and it has all the Hush and Killing Joke vibes. So in the dark direction, they tease at the Kurt. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but
I don't
the
know.
Court of Owls.
The Court of
And
Owls. Okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they tease this stuff a lot, but this movie could stand alone. So is it just an Easter egg, or do they want to work with it and put all these little hints in it
I don't know. I'm pretty much
on
sure they
purpose?
are not sure if they want to use this or not.
Yeah, but there are Batman fans definitely will find
Yeah,
even more than me, because we watched it and I hadn't have enough time to process it now. But there are a lot of a lot of hints, Easter eggs you will connect to other Batman franchises. Even the trope that the Waynes aren't the good, shiny knight in armor family for Gotham that they seem to be. That's a trope used a lot in newer Batman games, movies, comics, that Martha and Thomas Wayne have all the package they want to hide. And they use it here, but they don't go the extra mile and say, yeah, the Waynes were bad people. So also not sure how I feel about this. I like that they tease it, like the Telltale Batman game. A lot of you won't have played it, but
oh, I played it.
that's the main trope in the later episodes, and they go with this here too. And newer comics, newer like not from the 60s, newer, do this as well, and I like it. It fits the dark undertone.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure if I like how they finished it up.
yeah. In the last scene, Riddler is in Arkham Asylum, and he has this, or I don't know, a group of about 20 people. It's about 20 people who supports him, and I wouldn't go as far and say these are his minions or helpers. I don't know. It's more. I really didn't understand why they're
That's his
helping
social
him.
media army.
I know. I understood the reference and radicalizing in the internet. Yeah, I know. Extremists on the internet, but it was so. I really didn't care for them.
No,
They're just like faceless NPCs, just like in the internet. So
it was
yeah,
unnecessary. You could have
yeah,
completely left it out. The
yeah,
whole scene around this would have worked without them. Just some classic bad guys taking over the situation and getting some money out of it.
yeah.
It
Would have
shouldn't
been
have.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and more believable because for me there wasn't really a deeper motive for them to help Riddler, and
Yeah, the whole Riddler motive was to
I
get
know
Gotham clear of corruption and lies. And yeah, with his 500 follower and 20 radicalizing, it's a bit. Nah.
it's pretty good. I mean, if you have
Yeah, the
only
conversion rate is
500,
great.
so we have at this moment, I guess, around 600 subscribers on YouTube. So if we could mobilize 20 or 25, that would be pretty good. So
It's a good conversion rate, but
yeah,
not that much as a final scene for a movie.
no, no.
Another thing you talked about the end is let's say it's a Joker tease. Yeah, that's exactly.
Unnecessary Joker
It
team.
could be we all weren't sure. You would have to rewatch it to be clear and look at all the little hints, but I guess the wording, he says something about clowns and stuff. It's a Joker tease. You have a shadow and a scary face, so it could be Harvey Dent, like Two Face, but it feels more like Joker scars, and the whole theme has a Joker vibe, and I don't know why they do this. We had so many Joker interpretations and so many good and bad Jokers. What the thing is done? How do you want to get excitement out of a Joker tease from your audience? I don't
Because
get it.
money.
Yeah,
Because it's the
but you
fan
don't please the fans,
favorite.
I
And
guess.
no, of course not. But I can already see the marketing executives behind it. Yeah, yeah, but we have to put Joker in there. I don't care how, but just put him in the last scene, or it's exhausting, and I really don't care for another Joker movie.
Me too.
Really,
Me neither. Yeah. If they did it just to have him there and in a potential next movie that's almost irrelevant, I'm fine with it.
yeah,
Then it's like, why did you do this? Just, yeah, please, the main target audience, fine. But if they want to build around another Joker movie or another villain story about the Joker, I don't need it. I
yeah,
don't want it.
totally
Please
agree.
don't. Please don't.
Please, please don't. Yeah. Well, I guess that pretty much sums it up. Or do you have anything else you want to
No.
beside our rating?
Oh, we didn't talk about the rating in the midsection.
True. Damn. Okay. Well, I write it down in the comments or in the description somewhere. Just look
Yeah.
down. But you won't see this because you're not here anymore if you don't want to hear any spoilers. Damn it.
Damn it.
Okay, maybe we
Edit it in.
fix this in post. Yeah, yeah, right.
So,
Okay,
Andy, how about you go first this time?
yeah. I thought a lot about it, and with a lot, I mean the last 2 hours while I was driving back home. um, First, I thought, yeah, it was a pretty cool movie, and it still is. And I was thinking about 9.5, but as longer as I wrap my head around it, I see a few negative things, as mentioned. And I would say it's one of the best Batman movies, but it's not the best. So I would give it a 8.9.
I had the exact same thought process as you. When I left the cinema, I was like more than a 9. And yet, the longer you think about it, yeah, you see, one of the things is I came out and I didn't have that wow effect. I had, yeah, I feel in a dark way wholesome. It felt good,
Yeah.
yeah, but it didn't blow me away. It didn't blow me away. So yeah, and I settled with my emotions with an 8.9 as well. Like it's exactly the same thought process we
Perfect.
had.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I guess 8.9 it is from both of us. And yeah, tell us in the comments if you've seen it or if you haven't, or if you maybe you don't want to watch it. I don't know. Tell us in the comments if you enjoyed the video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Bye.